Gimana kayak aku langsung?
हाँ यस करेंगे
So good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon.
So I would request all the participants to open the camera. सभी participants camera open करें. So on behalf of UGC Malviya Mission Teachers Training Center, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, Chhatrapati Sambhaji Nagar, I welcome today's resource person, Dr. Kharbuli ma'am from NEHU University. Indeed, it is really an honor and pleasure for all of us to have her here on this platform of Zoom. Madam, this is the second last day of the course, and this is the what you will say, this is the second week of this course. So I hope that participants have got something in their bags and they will deliver it to their colleagues, to the students and to the society regarding NEP 2020. So not taking much of time, I would now request the resource person to take over the session. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rafi, for giving me this opportunity. And it's wonderful to collaborate with teachers across the country and connecting with B.R. Ambedkar University, Marathwada. And we are from the Northeast. So I belong to Northeastern Hill University. And Dr. Rafi has assigned me with this topic on the theme on student diversity and inclusive education. So before we start with the session, let me share my screen and please inform me if the screen is visible, if the PPT is visible.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Okay, so we know that NEP 2020 it has emphasized and stressed on ensuring that every student, every child in the country has the right to learn. So with this vision in mind, the Ministry of Education, the University Grants Commission felt that it is very important for our teachers in the country to really understand what exactly is diversity. And if we as teachers understand what diversity is all about, then only at our own micro level of our environment, that is our teaching learning, we will be able to ensure that yes, as an individual teacher, we are being inclusive and supporting every student within our own classroom. So if you look at this theme as per the brochure given by the under the MMTTP, you will see that there are three sub-themes. So the first sub-theme is understanding diversity and linking it to inclusion. The second is developing learner-centric practices, skills, and support system. And the third is teacher competencies towards diversity and inclusion. Before I go forward, I would like to just ask you if I am clearly audible. Can you hear my voice? Is it
Yes, ma'am, you are audible. Your video is very much clear, and your PowerPoint is also very much perfect.
okay? Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Should I take your leave, ma'am, now?
Yes, 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 sir.
Yeah.
You can,
Huh?
sir. Thank you
Yeah.
so much, sir.
Okay, okay.
Thank you.
I will just make one of the participant
Oh,
a co-host. So if there is any query, Mitali, ma'am, I will make you a co-host. Uh, if there is any query or problem, she can. Amol, kindly make Dr. Mitali as a co-host.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I
Thank
will.
you, thank you, thank you, Amol.
thank you, sir. Thank you. Okay. So, if we really want to ensure that every student has the right to learn, then as a teacher, we must first understand what exactly is diversity all about. And if we really truly understand the meaning of diversity, then we can link it to inclusion. And ultimately, what is our role? What is our responsibility? Our role is to ensure that we develop, the learner-centric approach towards our teaching and learning. And ultimately, we as teachers, we need to ensure that we are skilled in ensuring that we are able to develop the learner-centric practices, skills, and support system for a diverse situation, for a diverse environment. And ultimately, through this discussion with you today, you as a teacher would be able to introspect and introspect as to how much competent are you, or how much competent am I in ensuring that I am I am an enabler as a teacher, and I'm able to to bring in this inclusion in this diverse environment. So we will talk about each sub-theme one by one, and let us start with the first sub-theme, that is understanding diversity and linking it to inclusion. So as a teacher, we must ensure that we have first and foremost the knowledge the knowledge of the policies that exist in our country as well as at the international level, where it speaks about diversity and inclusion. So, what are the different types of policies as a teacher that we must, equip ourselves with, empower ourselves with, to really truly understand the very meaning of diversity? So, first and foremost, how many acts and policies have come up in a country that speaks about inclusion? So if you look at the international level, you will see that the UN Act in 1995, it ensures that there is an equal opportunity, protection of rights, and full participation of persons with disabilities. Then again, in 2016, the UN again came up with an act that targets specifically rights of person with disability. And now when you come to our own national, policies, you will see that the policy of inclusion has always been there. Okay, if you look at the 10 plan that is from 2000 to 2007, it speaks about higher education for persons with special need, where higher education institutions are expected to create a barrier-free environment. Then again, 12th Plan 2012 to 17 speaks about responsive to needs, that is scheme of equal opportunity center for colleges. So we have seen that across the country, there are institutions that have come up with such types of centers that supports students with special needs, students with disabilities. So I don't know how many of you who are attending this platform have such centers within your own institution. Then again, in 2019, the Act on Rights Without Discrimination, where the protection rights of the transgender person have come up. But today we will talk exclusively on NEP 2020 that emphasizes on equity and inclusion. So if you look under the NEP 2020, as I've told you, knowledge of the policy is first and foremost for each and every teacher. So we have one very important, guideline that is on, one second, let me just highlight this. That is the credit-based course on pedagogical aspects for teaching Divyangjans and persons with specific learning disabilities. So as a teacher, you have to equip yourself with what are the different rules and regulations within this particular guideline that will aid and support us as teachers to come up with, good design of our courses, good implementation of the different pedagogical approaches within a classroom. And I will not mention, specifically for students with special needs. If we make it a practice every day within our own classroom, whether we have students with or without special needs, then this will automatically fall into place. And even if in future in your classroom you have students with such needs, you have already been inclusive because you have made it a habit and practice these different pedagogical approaches and designing your courses. Then there is another guideline to provide equitable opportunity for the socio-economically disadvantaged group in higher education institutions. And finally, assess accessibility guideline and standards for higher education institution and universities. So these are the three very important guidelines that we need teachers must have an in-depth knowledge in so that we can go forward with inclusion. So what does the National Education Policy 2020 framework speaks about, diversity and inclusive education? So the NEP 2020 has indicated people with the following identities as socio-economically disadvantaged groups. So this diversity is there in our classroom. Each and every student has its own needs, and these needs together in NEP 2020, they are mentioned as the socio-economically disadvantaged groups, or the SEDGS. So under this, you have the gender identities, socio-cultural identities, geographical identities, disabilities, that includes learning disabilities, and the socio-economic condition. So every student probably will have such, needs within your classroom, and we need to understand the different classification or categorization of these needs. So education for the disadvantaged group under the Ministry of Education, okay, where 57% has been, put up, that 57% of the student population do fall under one or two of these needs. I'm sorry because I'm having a little bit of a cold. So, I'm taking a little bit time to speak, and I'm also having some stuffy nose. So I hope you understand my situation. Okay. So when we talk about identity, the NEP 2020 has realized that the girl and women students, they make up about half of all the socio-economically disadvantaged groups, especially those that belong to the underrepresented groups. And it is portrayed that probably these group of students will have multiple disadvantages. Then the other category under the gender identity is the transgender. I don't know how many of your institutions have students who fall under this group of gender, that is the transgender, so that there is no discrimination towards them. So when you talk about the gender identity, it speaks more towards, discrimination, taking gender into consideration. I don't know whether it still exists or not in our country, but I can tell you that in our region here in the Northeast, there is no discrimination at all as far as the gender is concerned. Then, when we talk about the socio backward identity, you have the scheduled caste and the scheduled tribes. So, in the state of Maharashtra, and of course, I can understand that probably the teachers who are attending this program are not only from Maharashtra, but they are pan representation of our country. But again, how many students fall under the socio backward identities, such as the scheduled caste and the scheduled tribe? Again, if we club it with the gender identity, these two again probably falls under discrimination. Then you have the educational and economic backward identity, where you have the non-creamy layer among other backward classes, economically weaker sections, students from the vernacular medium schools, and first generation learners. So now when we talk about students from vernacular medium schools, probably in this platform, there are teachers who are having the, language barrier. And I also, as a teacher, talking to you right now, I still do have a language barrier because I have a difficulty in, fluently speaking to you in English, or sorry, in Hindi. And at the same time, there may be teachers who are having the difficulty in in understanding English. So these are the barriers that are still there in a country, and how as teachers can we manage such types of difficulties? Clear. So first generation learner, probably in some areas there would still be students who are the first learners within their own family or their own lineage. The next, we have the minority identity, and under the minority identity, what has been placed is the, sorry, what has been placed here is the religious minority and the linguistic minorities. Then persons with disabilities and benchmark disabilities, that is people with long-term physical, mental, intellectual or sensory impairment, and person with more than 40% of specified disability as certified by the certifying authority. Then we have vulnerable and low socioeconomic conditions such as students from migrant community, denotified and nomadic tribes. Then you have low income household below poverty line, child beggars and children in vulnerable situations, victim of or of children or victims of trafficking, then students who lost their parents and any other group of low socio-economic condition. The next we have the less developed, poor access and disadvantaged location. So here you have villages and towns, tribal areas or scheduled areas as mentioned in the 5th and the 6th schedule under the Constitution of India. Then you have slums, aspirational areas with special educational zones, Northeast states, islands, conflict-prone areas, disaster-prone areas, including flood, drought, earthquakes, etc., and border areas. So these are the different categorization under diversity, which they come under one umbrella, that is the socio-economically disadvantaged group. Now, when we talk about these, probably you may think that, uh, uh, we institutions are not having these situations. But then ultimately, when you look at at the news, at the media, every now and then, somewhere or the other, you will see that, groups of students are still having issues based on these different types of categories. Now, take the case of less developed, poor access and disadvantaged locations. Of course, we Northeast, yes, as far as access is concerned, we still have challenges about, with regards to that. And when our students go to the mainland and study, every now and then in the media, we still see that, the students of this region are still facing some sort of discrimination. Okay, so seeing the real world situation around us, if we are in touch with the news every now and then, seeing the real world situation around us, whether it is discrimination against, gender, discrimination against a category, discrimination against, the region or location. So as a teacher, how can we train our students to, to weed away, to filter away this type of mindset that has been existing in our country, and it is still existing till today because it is still evidence. Things are still happening. So the role of us teacher is very, very important in the classroom as far as diversity is taken into account. So, as a teacher, we must go through the policy document so that we can assure ourselves that yes, these are the different categories that has been placed under diversity. And as teacher, we have to know in detail what are these different types of categories so that we create such a classroom where we as a teacher can be the stopgap towards discrimination in future. So that is the knowledge that we need to have. Now, coming to another type of category, that is disability, okay, which is also within the SEDGs. Now, if you look at the National Sample Survey Organization 2021, which probably could have gone up by now, the population of disability in our country exists, and this is 2.21%, where if you compare between the rural and the urban, it is almost the same. Male and female, we see that male has a higher, you know, probability of having disabilities in compared to female. And if you look at the literacy rate of the people with disabilities, again, male have a higher rate of literacy in comparison to the female, and around 56%, 0.56% of such students are enrolled in higher education. So students with disabilities does exist within our higher education environment or ecosystem. So now, what are the different types of disabilities that are identified? Okay, and this you will get it under this particular guideline, that is the guideline on credit-based course on pedagogical aspects for teaching Divyangjans and persons with specific learning disabilities. So there are 21 types of disabilities that have been identified. So as a teacher, you need to know the different kinds of disabilities and what are the major traits that these disabilities they exhibit, and ultimately does or do those traits affect the learning of a student. So this is something that we need to critically be more observant to. first and foremost, what are the 21 different types of disabilities that have been identified under the NEP 2020? Then, secondly, what are the traits that these disabilities they display or exhibit, and what are the relationship, the associations between the disability and learning? So we know that when it comes to disabilities, there are some which are visible and some that are invisible. And many times as teachers, we, we fail to recognize these disabilities that are invisible, because there are times probably in your classroom where you may see students who are disinterested, who do not enjoy the learning within your classroom. And as a teacher, probably we do feel intimidated. But ultimately, if we truly understand that, yes, it is not because the student is not interested in a classroom, but probably there is some underlying problem. And because of this underlying problem, if a teacher knows, then you as a teacher can, come up with some correcting towards helping the student. So diagnostics is very, very important from the side of us teachers. So as a teacher, how would you be able to diagnose as to how many students have disabilities within your classroom, how many students come under these different categories that have been identified under the NEP 2020 as to belonging the SEDGS. Okay, so as teacher, how would you be able to find it out? Can you please respond? Can you please respond, at least in the chat box? It will be nice if we can have a purposive, interaction. I don't know whether you are able to speak, or whether you are muted. I'm not too sure. But at least in the chat box, you can put in some of your practices that you carry out. And as a teacher, yes, you do know that these are the students within your classroom. So what is the strategy? What is the mechanism that you are following? Can you please respond? Okay. Uh, yeah, that will be discussed, sir. I will show you the 21 types of disabilities. But my question at the moment is, as a teacher, what is the strategy, the mechanism that you use to know that, yes, you do have students with special needs, students with disabilities, students who come under the different categories as projected in the previous slides to be under the socio-economically developed groups? What is the mechanism that you use? Is there any strategy? Is there any mechanism that you use to know that these exist in your classroom? If not, you can write no, you can write N. If you have never used it before, you can write N. You know, these interactions should never be monologue. It has to be like, both ways. So I want you also to please chat with me. Okay, we should identify them by medical checkup. Okay, that should have already been done. Everyone has different attitudes, so I always try to talk to them and try to make them feel more comfortable. Okay, but ultimately, how many students, like, would come up with these, would come up to speak with teachers? Many times students do stay away from, in informing or letting know everyone about what exists within their own lives. Do you agree with me? Do you agree with me? Yes or no, teachers? Okay, so this is also, yeah, you all agree, right? Okay, now try to develop some mechanism. For example, now what you can do is that you can take the response from your students through the Google form or maybe some other mode of tools that are existing today. But please do not take the name of the student, because if you take the name of the student, then the student sometimes will hide and will not be honest with you. So that's why it is good to take a survey of the students, but an anonymous. So this would be very, very helpful for us teacher to ensure that yes, we do have this group, and it should happen right from the beginning. So how many of you agree with me on taking an anonymous, information from students on the types of disability they have? Do you agree with me? And not only disabilities, but even the other categories, because probably some students may feel ashamed, right, to be open with the teacher. But I think if you start with this anonymous, survey, taking up all the information, then I'm sure that you will get the honest response from your student. And finally, there starts the initiation of managing your classroom in a diverse situation and making it inclusive. Clear? So, the disabilities that are visible, we know these are the physical disabilities which you can see, especially the locomotor disabilities. Now, here it says that such type of disabilities does not require any modification in pedagogy. Okay, whereas hearing and visual disabilities, these visual, at least it is visible to a certain extent, but then there are more and more cases of visual disabilities nowadays, which are again invisible. So, as teachers, we must ensure that we take utmost care with the pedagogy that we use or apply within our classroom. So, in the second session, we will do some hands-on with you. Okay, so I will give you a tea break. But before we go to the tea break, I will just ask you to open some of these tools where we can do some work together. Okay. So I can see Ma'am Mitali says that, ma'am, as a faculty, we have a duty to make them comfortable to speak, understand the situation. Yes, but still, ma'am, no matter how hard we try to be understanding, no matter how hard we try to make them feel comfortable, still there will be some small percentage of students who would still not feel free to be too open with the teacher. So that's why it's better to take a survey anonymously, and there you will get the picture that yes, these are the type of students that exist in my classroom, and I don't really have to know who is suffering from what, but I am preparing a pedagogy that fits all the students within the diverse classroom. Clear? So this is at least one suggestion from my side, but I don't know how many of you do agree with this suggestion. And we know that every institution now needs to reserve at least 5% of seat for persons with benchmark disability. So, as you have asked earlier, what are the 25, or sorry, what are the 21 disabilities that have been mentioned? The first one is physical disability. Second is acid attack survivors. Then you have cerebral palsy, leprosy cured, short stature or dwarfism, muscular dystrophy, visual disabilities, not necessarily only blindness, but even low vision. The next we have hearing disability. Okay, hearing disability, that is deaf and also hard of hearing, speech and language disability, intellectual disability, special learning disability, autism spectrum disorder, mental illness, and multiple sclerosis. Then you have Parkinson's disease, sickle cell, thalassemia, hemophilia, multiple disabilities. So these are the different types of disabilities. Now, if I give you one example, now we know that many of the the population in our country on the higher side are now having a lot of nutrient deficiencies. Okay, it could be deficiency due to vitamin D, deficiency due to vitamin B12, deficiency due to iron. Now, think about these deficiencies. Are they hampering the learning, the physical and the mental situation of students? Now, any of you who are suffering from these nutrient deficiencies, you will see that, there is some kind of, thank you very much. Thank you very much. You will see that there is some amount of fatigue within us, because even me, I did suffer from anemia. I did suffer from, vitamin D issues. And, it creates a lot of fatigue in us. And there is sometimes a lack of motivation, lack of concentration. So probably these type of issues are not mentioned in the NEP 2020, but they still affect the learning of the students. Again, how many of you agree with me? How many of you agree with me? And if this be the case, if you have such situations in your classroom, then if you look at the percentage of disadvantaged groups, then the percentage will be even much higher. Clear? So, having seen the different types of disabilities, and after having discussed beyond what is written in the NEP 2020, we have to think beyond. So now starts the role of the teacher. How would you develop a learner-centric practice skills and support system for your students? Clear? So again, under that particular guideline, they have mentioned clearly how can it gives us a very clear guideline as to how we teachers can move about with helping the students. So it states that inclusive practices fulfills diverse needs in a responsive and supportive manner. So that's why I mentioned to you right from the start that if you habituate yourself with inclusive, practices, then you would be covering, the needs at a very large scale, and ultimately your students with such needs have already been included with such type of practices. So how do we create an inclusive instruction, inclusive pedagogy, inclusive curriculum? Clear? So I will also share the guidelines if you want the guidelines. Okay, I will share you the guidelines with you. So accessibility and inclusion as a concept and culture in HEIs would eventually benefit everyone. Now, let's say, for example, what do we mean by inclusive instruction? Okay, or inclusive pedagogy. Now, let's say, for example, in this platform of us, okay, in this platform, suppose there are teachers who have, a poor vision, teachers who have poor vision. Now we know that as teachers, all of us, we use the PPT, right, to teach. This is one mode of pedagogy, one mode of instruction that we use, where we heavily rely on the PPT. Now, for example, suppose if I make a PPT that is not, showing contrast in this manner. I have a background here, and instead of writing in this contrast orange, I put in a blue. which many times we teachers, sometimes we fail and it doesn't strike our mind, right? So obviously, it would be missed out not only by those students of low vision, but by many students. There was a presentation that I gave yesterday, and I changed the PPT, which was a little bit different. One of the teacher participant, mentioned in the chat, "Ma'am, can you make it more contrast?" So you get the point. That is where, we choose the font, we choose the color of the text, the color of the background as per our liking. And we forget that our liking may not match to the understanding of the audience who are looking at it. Do you get the point of what I'm trying to tell you, teachers? And do you agree with me? Do you agree with me, teachers? You can put it in the chat box. Okay, thank you very much for your response. Thank you very much. So these are the small practices that can be missed out by the teacher. And we have to ensure that this is, done right from the beginning, and it has to be a habit. Now, for example, if you have students who have, low hearing, short hearing, okay, what one mistake can as a teacher make? What is one mistake as a teacher that you can make? See, now I am facing you face to face, right? I am facing you face to face. And if there are students who are having some hearing disability, some teacher who are having hearing disability, now when I'm speaking, will that teacher be able to catch what I am trying to speak? Can you give me the response? Can you give me the response? Will the teacher be able to understand what I am trying to speak? Can you give me the response? No, ma'am. Why? Ma'am Mitali, why? What could be the reason that that student will not be able to know what I am trying to speak? What could be the reason? Can you give me one reason? Can you give me one reason? Okay. Language, all right. You have mentioned language. So that is one reason. Sometimes understanding what? Okay, language, I understand. That is one reason. Fine. You have given a very good example. Now, as a teacher, when we go to the classroom, how many of us, we tend to speak fast? We talk very fast. How many of us do that? So if that is the trait that we have, then we have to correct this trait because we have to speak slow. Slow as a habit, as a practice, so that in any future time or in any time, if students who are having hearing, issues, if you learn to teach slowly, then they will look at the way you speak and learn from there. And of course, language, as ma'am has mentioned, needs to be taken into consideration. But in our region, like, we have students who understand the language that I am talking in, so there is not much of a problem. But probably if I have to give a lecture in a platform such as this, then I need to take care that at some point of time, I still do need to speak in the language that you understand. But how many languages can I speak in? At the moment, only Hindi, right? I am unable to speak Marathi. Clear? So these are the barriers that we as teachers do have. Then point number two, whenever we have students with hearing, impairment, as a teacher, when we write in the board, when we speak, we look at the board and not at the classroom. So this is also one, defect that can occur in our classroom and fail to include students with hearing impairment. Clear? Then the third thing is that the voice should be very loud. But ultimately, if you think it deeply, this will not only help students with hearing impairment, but even students who are visually impaired. Because if you speak slow, if you speak louder, then it would cover, both address both the both the impairments such as hearing and and uh, visual. So as teachers, we know the traits displayed by students with hearing and visual impairment. And as teachers, it becomes very easy for us to address their learning needs. But what about students who are having those other different types of disabilities that have been shown here? How many of us teachers are aware of the traits that a Parkinson's disease, the traits that the sickle cell anemia, the traits that thalassemia, etc., displays in terms of ability to learn? So, as a teacher, at least you should try to find out. And especially when you do the survey, now that you know these lists of disabilities, you can even give the list of these disabilities and the students can tick which one are they having. Now, ultimately, at at the first level, what you can do is that in the next round, you can again send the Google form or any other tools to your student and ask, what are the learning disabilities that this disease that you're having might affect you? Because ultimately you're taking it anonymously. So the next time you ask, students will again come forward to reply because you're taking these information anonymously. So we are well aware with the hearing and the visual impairment, but as teachers, how much are we aware of the learning disabilities of the other types of disabilities, so that we can have that inclusive instruction, inclusive pedagogy, the art of communicating the knowledge to your student. Then we will look at what exactly is this inclusive curriculum. Is this discussion meaningful? Are you all, you know, are you all enjoying this discussion? Is it meaningful? Is it beneficial? Okay, I can see only 2 responses. Okay, thank you very much. If more responses out of the many students, 68 students, then I would be happy. Okay. So now, see, pedagogy. Let us start first with pedagogy. Pedagogy for students with disabilities. So not only students with disability, even any normal student, you will see that students learn through different ways. Now, for example, if you can put in the chat box, as a listener, as a listener, would you prefer to learn through the lecture, that means oral, or you prefer the visual? What would be a better learning environment for you? If I speak orally or visually using the PPT, which one is your preference? Can you put in the chat box? Chat box. You would prefer the lecture method or the visual PPT method? Which one would you prefer more? Can you tell me? Yeah, PPT? Okay. What about the others? What about the others? Visual, visual. See, we all agree to it. And we should be thankful to the technology. Of course, there is the chalk and board, but Obviously, with this technology of PPT, this is a great support to us teachers because we don't have to prepare it every now and we can share it with the student permanently, so the learning will be higher. So you see, some of us, we prefer learning through visual, right? Now, as a teacher, how do you learn better? Do you learn better by audio or reading through the paper? You prefer reading through the paper or listening audio? What do you prefer? How do you learn better? How do you learn better? Reading, paper. Okay. Some of you says a combination of both. Some of you says listening. Some of you says reading. But I, as a teacher, I like to read. Okay, I prefer to read rather than listening. So why I am bringing in these for you? As a teacher, when we talk about inclusive education, so when we talk about pedagogy, you must remember that first and foremost, let us first keep aside, students with special needs. Okay, let us talk about the entire classroom. Won't it be good if you provide the students with all? Now, for example, you have given the lecture to your student. If you can prepare the video audio, will that not be inclusive? Will that not be a good practice, a good habit to have that inclusive classroom? Number two, fine, some of you says that you prefer to read rather than listening. So next, what do you provide them? Again, the material, it could be the PPT which I am preparing to all the students in the form of a transcript. So that adds additional towards the learning. Then apart from that, a PPT may not suffice. I can also give an additional write-up of what I have, you know, created the content in the PPT. So this is known as inclusive pedagogy. Then now, if you talk about, visual and hearing impaired. So the visual impaired would need the audio, whereas the hearing impaired would, on the other hand, need the material. So if you have prepared all for the entire classroom, then will this not be inclusive? Teachers, will it not be inclusive? Do you agree with me? Will it be inclusive or not? Okay, so there's no further response. Okay, yes, ma'am. Thank you very much. Thank you for your response. Okay, so, without having this theme, student diversity and inclusive education, we may be doing it, but now that it is made known to us, then as a teacher, we can take extra care now. We can take extra care to ensure that we truly make it inclusive or not. We can always correct, bring in improvement and better our content that we put within our, learning material, whether it is the video audio, whether it is the PPT, whether it is, reading materials, etc. So now we understand truly that yes, there are students who learn by observing and seeing. So that's why our content should ensure that along with the writing, there should be pictures, diagrams, videos, and demonstrations. Okay, so I could have brought it here. Okay, I could have put it here. Then auditory learning style, learned by sense of hearing, that is the spoken word. But when I spoke about the other disabilities, for example, when you talk about learning disabilities, different types of learning disabilities, there are students probably They would learn by touching. Okay, so if you have a lot of scaffolding in your classroom, okay, a lot of scaffolding in your classroom where you bring in a lot of materials and objective that student can learn, then that will help them much, much better. So they learn best by touching objects, so you can have hands-on activities, remember what they did and how they did it. Okay, this will impinge in their brain. Then kinesthetic, there are students, in fact, even teachers in our, faculty induction program, you know, uh, of the 144 contact hours that they are with us, we realize that the best they learn is when we have the kinesthetic learning style, where they learn by active participation. So there are a lot of activities that are given. But again, when we go to the pedagogical approaches later, you will see that not all topics can fit with the kinesthetic learning style. But when I give you one example, I don't know how many of you would agree, when it comes to learning the personality development, positive attitude, body language, etc. These are the type of topics where kinesthetic learning style really helps the most. Okay, where they learn by active participation, where there is full of motion. Clear? So, as a teacher, having an expertise in your subject, you and you alone will know that which type of style would fit for which type of topic. Clear? Which type of style would fit which type of topic. So you can improvise such types of learning style to a topic that you are going to teach. So now when we talk about an inclusive curriculum, now what do we understand by an inclusive curriculum? How exactly do you define curriculum? Can you tell me what is your curriculum as of now? Can you tell me? Can you inform me? What is curriculum to your understanding? What is curriculum to your understanding? How can you as a teacher fit, design, develop that curriculum which is inclusive to your student? Can you do it? Is it possible? Yes or no? Is it possible? Okay, you're saying yes. How would you do it? How would you design your curriculum? Someone has mentioned yes. How would you design your curriculum? Do you have the power, the capability to do it? But how would you do it? How would you do it? What is curriculum exactly? What is curriculum exactly? Yeah, you're saying yes. We need to understand students' interest, their ability to learn. Then how will you fit it within your curriculum? How would you fit it within your curriculum? Okay, let me show you. Let me talk in detail about this curriculum because it is very important. Now, your sessions run till 4 o'clock, no? 2:30 till up to 4, no? Then we have a tea break, right? So for 15 minutes, let me talk in detail about this curriculum. Okay. Now, you are teaching semester 1, right? Let us take only one semester, right? Now, under semester 1, what are the papers offered? You have to teach your core paper, okay, which is major or minor. And for universities, you have your own discipline paper, your specialization that you need to teach. Then apart from this, you are also teaching what? Other courses, right? Other courses. It could be your ability enhancement course, your skill enhancement course, your multidisciplinary. But now let us talk only about the core paper in terms of curriculum. And let us take only the major, right? So all of you are teaching a major paper for the first semester? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? Okay, so all of us, right? So what is curriculum? Curriculum is nothing but credits plus courses, which we, or in other terms, call it as papers, right? So now, for the first semester, okay, for the first semester, how many credit is allotted? We all know that 20 credits is allotted. And where do we get this from? From the National Curriculum Framework. Right? We get it from the National Curriculum Framework. Okay. Some of you are writing 22, which is true because in between the first and the second, you can have a vocational of 2 credits. So the entire year can come to 22 credits. But each semester is how much? 20 credits. Right? Now we know that this 20 credits is distributed amongst the courses that are taught in the first semester, and that too again we are bounded. We are bounded by rule, and who binds us? The National Curriculum Framework for the 4-year undergraduate program as well as for uh, uh, the postgraduate program. Right. So now let us take an example of one paper that is being taught by all, and we know that we all have to teach a major paper. What is the credit assigned to the major paper under the National Curriculum Framework? What is the credit assigned to a major paper under the National Curriculum Framework? How much does your major paper carry? Thank you very much, Anita. Very true. So it is 4 credits. As a teacher, are you assigned the entire 4 credits or is it shared amongst your colleague? As a teacher, are you teaching the entire 4 credits or is it shared amongst your colleague? Tell me. Okay, some of you are saying not shared. Fine. If it is shared, that means ultimately some of you teachers must be assigned to 1 or 2 credits, 1 or 2 credits of the 4 credits, right? Clear. Now, how do you define credit? How do you define credit? Because this is important, because now you are going to create an inclusive curriculum. So how, as a teacher, will you integrate the inclusive curriculum? You have to know this. How do you define credit now? How do you define credit? It is nothing but a unit awarded, okay, for the hours spent in learning. And I know that most of you misdefine credit. You say teaching, right? But under NEP 2020, it has to be replaced by the word learning. That means the unit awarded for the hours spent in learning. So if you are assigned 1 credit, right? If you are assigned 1 credit, then 1 credit will give you how many hours of a learning environment. We use the word teaching. You say that, okay, I have this many hours to teach, but you have to filter out the word teach and replace it with learning. So how many hours do you have in hand if you are assigned 1 credit to teach your major paper of the 4 credits? Thank you very much, Mridula. I'm very happy. Thank you very much. So that means you have 15 hours of what? Of learning environment. Yes or no? That means what are you going to do within this 15 hours to ensure that you have a teacher-centric a learner-centric environment. Clear? So now let me draw here. Okay, let me draw here. So you have 15 hours in hand. You have 15 hours in hand. Now, within this 15 hours in hand, you are given topics to be taught. Yes or no? Topics to be taught, right? So as a teacher, have you ever tried to make a lesson plan where you are able to define how many minutes would you need to teach topic 1, how many minutes or hours topic 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. You see? So NEP 2020 wants us teacher to create a lesson plan for each credit that is being assigned to us, Clear? So now you have these, let's say 10 topics. Okay, 10 topics in hand, and you have 15 hours, right? Now, of these 10 topics, if there are students with learning difficulty, then as a teacher, how would you manage? You have to have some heart to these students, where of the 10 topics, if they are able to grasp only 5, that is enough. So this is where we speak about flexibility. Curriculum flexibility, variety of courses so that student can choose, then reduce course workload. Now, excuse me, I'll just have water, 1 second. Sorry. So now we are saying that for the 1 semester, it is assigned 20 credits. So how many courses are there for 20 credits? Let's say you have 2 major paper. Some institution have 1 major paper like in NEHU. Okay. Then we have 1 minor for the first semester. Then you have 1 MDC. Then you have 1 SEC, 1 VAC. Okay. And then 1 AEC. So how many courses are there? There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are having 4 credits each into 2. So you have how much? 8. And these are having how much? 3 credits each. So into 4 is equal to how much? 12. So that makes up how much? 20. So you see. So for such students, see, you are asking, is there any frame for preparing lesson plan according to NEP? Okay, I'll show you. We will talk about it. So for these students, within your own topic also, within your own credit also, try to be flexible. Okay. And then even the institution also, of the many courses offered, they can reduce. Okay, they can waive some subject. Okay, or instead of that, for these students, they can substitute. Then I will show you what is plus curriculum later. Okay, then flexibility in course schedules, then flexibility in the pace of the course content, and flexibility in attendance requirement. So as a teacher, we have to keep this in mind when we talk about students with special needs, students with disability. Even within your own credit also, you have to ensure that there is some flexibility. So now, when you, let's say topic 1, okay, topic 1. Let's say you have topic 1, and for this topic 1, of the 15 minutes, of the 15 hours, let's say you need 1 hour, that is 60 minutes. Now again, when we go back to the kinesthetic style, when we go back to the different styles of learning, okay? Now, as a teacher, when we know that it is not only auditory that aids students in learning, kinesthetic also helps, tactile also helps, hands-on, and visual also help. So as a teacher, how do you plan your lesson for this 60 minutes for the topic one? So please remember, make it a habit, make it a practice that it should not be monologue. That means only from your end. So accordingly, what you can do is that accordingly, you can construct a scale of measurement. So now you have taken only one topic of 60 minutes, right? So here again, you construct a scale of measurement here. 60 minutes you have. So for 60 minutes, it is said that you should not go beyond 15 to 20 minutes of lecture because students will not listen to you between more than 20. Then you have another, how many? You have another 40 minutes. So in the 40 minutes, again, break. You can have a 10 to 15 minutes of activity, right? So that amounts to how much? 20 plus 15 is 35, and you still have 25. Then in 25, what can you have? You can have, maybe some kind of a discussion, some kind of a discussion. And whenever you conclude your session, always conclude with taking a feedback. So as a teacher, are you able to adapt to this type of teaching? Or are you practicing this already? Are you practicing this already? Are you practicing this already as a teacher? Yes or no? Okay, nice. Ma'am Anitha is practicing. JBL not yet, but can you adapt to it? Can you adapt to it? Okay, you do teaching and discussion. But then apart from that, you must not forget that the continuous comprehensive assessment is also very important. Okay, the continuous comprehensive assessment is also very important. Now there are many AI tools which I will show you. You can even set maybe 5 minutes of assessing of whether your student have learned what has been, taught in the class or not, what activities they have done, whether they have learned or not, what discussion you have had, whether they have learned or not. So you can have a 5 to 10 minutes of continuous comprehensive assessment, and from there you will be able to check and reflect of how much has been learned, and you can do an analysis where you can bring in improvements, okay, and then help the student with needs, advanced learner, struggling learners, all these will be there. So how will you help them? So if you practice it, such a type of inclusive curriculum, then ultimately you are already heading towards inclusive education. How many of you find this logical, agree with this? How many of you? Do you find this logical? So is curriculum clear to all of you? Is curriculum clear to all of you? So we are not violating the national curriculum framework. You are not violating the national curriculum framework, because the national curriculum framework says that the total credits for a major paper is 4. And of the 4, you as a teacher, you are assigned to teach 1 credit. And you know exactly how many hours you have in hand for that learning environment. That is 15. And then you already have the topic set by your affiliating university or by your university. So you're not violating. But within this that is given to you, how innovative and creative can you be? This is the question. How innovative and creative can you be? So is curriculum clear to all of you? Is it clear to all of you? I can see only one answering, that is Ma'am Mitali, and another two or three, but the many are very quiet. I want to see more responses. Is this discussion helping you or not? I want responses from other teachers also, or research scholars if there are any. Is this helping you all or not? Because I will show you hands-on. I will show you hands-on. Okay. After this, whatever I have spoken, I will show you the hands-on, and I will talk about the plus curriculum. Because what does it say? Plus curriculum refers to a supplementary or modified curriculum that addresses the specific needs of students, particularly those with special needs. So for a visual, for a hearing, for sickle cell, for thalassemia, how will you know? What would be the need? What type of curriculum are you going to address? So these are the things which we will discuss in the second session. Okay. Now, mode of instruction to address a range of learning style, which I have spoken to you. That is the different types of style, whether it is visual, auditory, tactile, or kinesthetic. Learning goals and specific learning objectives relevant to each diversity. Now, for example, when we talk about learning goals and specific learning objectives relevant to each diversity. Now, for example, um, uh, okay, let me use this only. Sorry. Let us talk a little bit more about this. Now, I showed you just now that for your major paper, you are assigned 1 credit, right? You are assigned 1 credit, and after being assigned 1 credit, you have 15 hours. So how do you start? You have to put the learning objectives. Okay, any topic that you are teaching, you have to put in the learning objectives. And then after that, you also have to state what would be the expected learning outcome. What would be the expected learning outcome? So now, let's say, for example, I am teaching zoology, okay, and one of the objective, because I have, a theoretical class as well as practical class, and then let's say fieldwork. So let's say that one of the learning objective is to take the students to the field and do some field survey. Clear? And ultimately, I find that there is one type of disability that will not uh, uh, be possible for such a student to go on a fieldwork. Clear? So, in such a case, instead of that, then how do I help the student? How do I help the student to get the feel that that student has, the feel of doing a fieldwork? So you can, exclude the student, exempt the student from going for the fieldwork. And when you go there as teachers, we take a lot of photographs and pictures. You can even video record. And ultimately, in that case, what you do, learning goals and specific relevant to each diversity. So you can add, so that your student can have that field of the field study which the rest of the students, have learned. Do you agree with me with this particular suggestion that is being given to you? Is it helpful? Is this suggestion helpful? Teachers, is it helpful? Teachers? Okay. So probably better suggestions may come from you. I am just giving you a very simple suggestion here. Okay, so the expected learning outcome that you have stated for the rest of the classroom, again, because this student is unable to go for a field trip, will be, you know, lesser in comparison to the rest of the student. Okay, so sir said, is there a guide? I will talk in detail about pedagogical approaches for diverse learning styles and functional needs. Then range of options for students to demonstrate learning. You can demonstrate to them in different way. Then how will you grade the students? You can use rubrics and grading criteria, assessment and evaluation methods. Also the weightage given, you have to, you have to try to be a little bit more flexible for such student. And accessible formats, of course, when we talk about accessible formats, it may be a little bit difficult for us, but ultimately, uh, you know uh, uh, you can take the help of your institution to provide you with these accessible formats. Then now, work-based learning or apprenticeship, career counseling, arrangement of placement. See, this you can also take the help of the parents. You as teachers can also take the help of the parents, then take the help of, these industries, etc. You can tie up with them as an institution, and the institution can inform the teachers where you can invite different places, different industries to your campus so that they can have a talk. And how can these students be employed? Of course, this is more at the institutional level rather than at the classroom level. Then within your classroom, what can you have? Peer-to-peer collaborative learning, hands-on activity-based learning, multi-level teaching, experiential learning, encouraging your students to participate in classroom activities, then different teaching strategies used in the classroom, inquiry-based learning, problem solving. Okay, so these are the different activities that you can bring in, and you can also take the help of the other students, so that they can be the buddy system towards these students. Clear? So now we have another 10 minutes. So let us finish this so that I can go to the hands-on and you can enjoy. So I'm taking one example of disability, that is the hearing impairment. So repetition is important. So ultimately, imagine if as a teacher, if you have to keep on repeating, okay, in the classroom, if you have to keep on repeating in the classroom, then much of your time will be taken up on this. So as a teacher, how would you, supplement repetition? Can you put in the chat box? What would you come up with so that you do not have to repeat over and over again for these students? What can you come up with? Can you put in the chat box? Think of something. Think of something. Think of something. Can you think? Teachers will not see hearing impairment, right? Will not a video recorded lecture help? Will a video recorded lecture help or not? Yes or no? Clear? So that's why you have to think accordingly. Now let us talk about rephrase. Fine, you have taught, you have lectured, you have taught, but still students are unable to learn. So how will you rephrase it? Now, for example, when it comes to rephrasing, okay, now what if you create some type of a discussion forum? Okay, there are many tools nowadays that you can create the discussion forum. Now imagine a student clarifies certain doubts, is unable to, understand. Now you as a teacher tries to encourage the rest of the students also to come up with answers. So when students come up with answers, there itself, the sentence put by each individual student and the teacher will differ. So ultimately, that itself will be helping not only the student with the special need, but also the rest of the students. Clear? So pronounce clearly, I've spoken earlier. Then provide visual clues. That means for every word, if you can give some sort of a picture, some sort of a diagram, a chart, that would help. Then use facial expressions, gestures, and body language to convey the message, which I have shown you earlier. Then let the teaching be animated and provide written material to supplement teaching. Clear? Because they cannot hear. So that's why written material not only will help students with hearing impairment, but the rest of the classroom. So after having discussed for so long, ultimately, who would support us with so much of demand? Who would support us with so much of demand? It is only the technology. It is only the technology that would support us with this demand. So this is the reason why I will show you in the next session how the technology can aid us with all these demands of providing the learning atmosphere for our student. So I've already spoken about audio video recorded using visual aids, key phrases, new phrases, difficult phrases should be written. Okay. Any platform, not necessarily the board, PowerPoint presentations, slideshows, videos, use video with closed captioning to supplement the information because they cannot hear, use interactive whiteboard, introduce terminologies before teaching a new topic. Then provide reading lists well before starting a new topic. Use many activities for teaching each concept. Control discussion to ensure that only one person speaks at a time. Have sign language interpreters. Have a counseling cell. Have a resource room. Have remedial class. Okay, okay, this is the work of the institution. Okay, this is the work of the institution where they need to orient teaching and non-teaching staff regarding the needs of students with hearing impairment. Because I told you I'm taking only one example. Language exemption may be considered. Other tips for helping students with hearing impairment include preferential seating, we must not forget, facing the teacher or speaker away from the background noise, use of microphone while teaching, use of amplification systems in the classroom, use of FM device, reducing background noise, assigning peer partner or buddy system, which I had spoken earlier. Clear? But now I will tell you, with the technology, these may not necessarily be required. Because when the student comes to the classroom, if you have provided, like what they have said, like, a flipped classroom, provide everything beforehand, then ultimately the student can not necessarily sit in front also. Seating, the student can sit behind where there is no noise at all, put on the earplugs and listen to your lectures, which you have already provided them on the technology, which I will show you now, right? So I'm telling you, with the technology, things will not be difficult. In fact, it is going to be so much simpler. Clear? Then, other things which you need to take into consideration is you can substitute the oral exam or the viva with written because they cannot hear. But in the case of visual, what would you be doing in terms of examination? For the hearing impaired, you're substituting oral with written, but for the visual, what would you be doing? For the visual, isn't it vice versa? Isn't it vice versa? Yes or no? That means you will substitute written with oral. Okay. Then if you need a sign language, you can have. Then providing an alternate non-verbal way for exams, bell or announcement because they cannot hear. Then this I've already spoken. Then compensatory time is important. Okay. Then they should be able to express themselves and learn using alternative or augmentative communication. This may include, but is not limited to, provision of Indian Sign Language, low or high-tech communication aids such as tablets with speech output, voice output, communication aids, or communication books. Okay. Then state parties should invest in developing expertise, technology, and services in order to promote access to appropriate technology and alternative communication systems to facilitate learning. So now AI tools, most of the AI tools are trying to fit in these, features so that it can also be inclusive. Clear? So let us have a tea break now. It is 4. Up to what time is your tea break? Up to what time is your tea break? I hope you all are still there. Are you still there? Okay, till what time is your tea break? Okay, now it's 4. Now it is 4. Now it is 4. So till what time? 4 to? 4 to what time? Okay, so we'll come back at 4:10. Okay, we'll come back at 4:10, and now we will start with the hands-on. Okay, hands-on and side by side. What sir was telling, I will show you that. Clear? Hands-on. Okay, so let us have a tea break now up to 4:15. Sorry, 4:10. Are you back, teachers? Or should we wait for some more time? Okay, good. So you're back. So let us start. So now, what Sir had asked earlier, is there any guideline or not? So I want you to, I will share with Sir, okay? If you want me to share, I can share. There is a guideline on uh, innovative pedagogical approaches, okay, and reforms in assessment and evaluation. So there is one guideline I will share with Sir, but you can get it um, from the UGC website also. Okay, innovative pedagogical approaches and reforms in an assessment, which in short we call it as the PEA. Okay, so now there are different ways and mechanism to have the kinesthetic. So this will fall under, sorry, fall under kinesthetic style. If you want, students to move about, kinesthetic style. Okay. If you want your students to move about in the classroom, to enjoy, then you can have these different types of learning within the classroom. Probably, many students will enjoy it, especially students with learning needs, because many times they tend to become hyperactive and all. So what you can do is that you can have brainstorming in your classroom, okay, brainstorming. Then you can have group discussions. All these you will get from the PEA. These are suggested. And as a teacher, you can be more creative also. Clear? Group discussions. Then you can have role plays also. That is going to be very interesting. Role plays will also help. Then you can have guided questioning also, where students can have a lot of probing. This will be more of assessment. Okay, interpretive trail. For example, for students with, hearing impairment, again, you can have signs along with write-ups over there. So it's like a scaffolding where you have a chart that would help them. They can come to the classroom and read. Not necessarily you prepare. Take the help of AI, and at the same time, you can take the help of other students also to prepare. Clear? You can have some competition in the classroom. Ask them to prepare. For example, if we take the food pyramids in the case of us from zoology, we can ask students to prepare and take the best and hang it in the classroom. All these are good activities which were followed in school but can be followed in the higher education also. Then have music, poems, poetry, and visual art. Then stimulus activity, where you can have different types of videos, etc. Then critical incidents, case studies, reflexive accounts, critical reading and writing. So somebody can also read, somebody can write. So, they can you can have it in the classroom where the rest of the students can have that inclusive learning. Okay, problem-based learning, solution-based learning. So what exactly is a solution-based learning and what exactly is a problem-based learning? Okay. So if you look at a solution-based problem, like for example, like we as individuals, we have a lot of dreams. Now, say for example, all of us must be, coming, must be experiencing a lot of traffic situations in your own cities when you go to your institutions and back home. So sometimes it can be very frustrating, very irritating. So when you sit in the car, you tend to dream like, how can this solution be solved? So solution-based learning is try to ask the students what are the real life problems that they are facing. It could be a water problem, it could be electricity problem, it could be so many other problems that is the real life situations problem, right? So once they have come up with their own problem, then you can ask the students to think what exactly do you feel would be a solution or solutions to this problem that you are facing. So in that way also, if it connects with your topic, especially for those who are teaching, environment or any other topic, this would create a lot of interest within your students. Okay, but when you talk about problem-based learning, this is an iterative process. Okay, where for example, like when you look for a long-term situation, how you would try to, that means situations are there, situations may not be there, but ultimately, for example, like, disaster. See, when we look back in the last year, if you look at northern India, the amount of disasters, like, was landslides happening and all. So if these happen in the, in the vicinity or in the locale of the student, then how would you try to look for a long-term, sustainable, solution towards these problems? Clear? Then you have fieldwork and outdoor learning, storytelling. Then you have talks and presentation. This is also very good, where you can have rubrics. So now I want to concentrate on this. I want to concentrate on this. This also you will get it in this guideline. That is innovative pedagogical approaches and reforms in assessment and evaluation, where there are 18 graduate attributes that we teachers must ensure that the students have these 18 graduate attributes. Clear? Now for each graduate attribute, there are learning needs, and again, each learning need has specific style of teaching or pedagogical approach. So I will not go through into the detail because it is quite long. So I'm sharing this PPT so you can take it from sir and go through them. Okay. Now I can just talk about one of the graduate attributes. Say for example, research skills. Now we know for research skills, that means what are the needs that the student has to build in order to show the trait of research. They should know how to formulate questions, that is research questions, so that they can come up with problem statements. Then they should know how to formulate, propose the hypothesis. They should know how to collect data, how to analyze data. Then they should know how to write a report, and also the ethics that are involved in research. So what style of, teaching or pedagogical approach would you provide to the students so that you ensure that they really know how to create research questions? Clear? So these are also suggestive pedagogical approaches that are given. But if you are an expert in the field of research, then you will know how to nanoscale these suggested uh, uh, pedagogical approach and ultimately fit it in your curriculum, which I have drawn for you. Okay, fit it in your curriculum where you create a scale of construct a scale of measurement where, for example, for a topic, okay, within your 1 credit, let's say you're taking topic 1, how many minutes? I wrote 60 minutes. So this is how you will fit in these pedagogical approaches towards learning that topic. And for that particular topic, what are the different graduate attributes that they can display? And for every topic, we know that a comprehensive knowledge is very important, then procedural knowledge, skill. So these are common to all, but there are some topics which may not fit these. Okay, so you have to be able to associate the graduate attribute, the topics to the graduate attribute, and accordingly go in depth to each graduate attribute, look at the learning need, and finally take these suggested pedagogical approach, but you can refine it as per your own expertise that you have. Okay, so then you have communication skills, research skills, collaborating and coordinating. Then you have leadership readiness or qualities, learning how to learn skills, digital literacy skill, multicultural competence, value inculcation, autonomy, responsibility and accountability, environmental awareness and action, community engagement and service, empathy. So these are the different types of learning needs. Clear? So now let me start with the work with the activity. So before I start with the activity, now I told you that for every topic that you're teaching, as a teacher, you must first be able to what? To provide the objective. Okay. Then what are the expected learning outcome, right? Then those different learning styles you need to incorporate, right? Now, as a teacher, do you think that doing this manually, you will be able to have such a good lesson plan for each and every topic for your 1 credit? Now, this is going to eat up your time. As teachers, how many of you are for AI or against AI? So you can write in the chat box so that we can start with the activity. How many of you are for? You can write FOR. And those who are not, can you hear me? Am I audible? Can you hear me? Okay, because I heard no audio. So that's why I was worried. So can you tell me whether you are for the AI or not for the AI? If you are for, then you write FOR. If not, then you can write NOT, NF, F and NF. Put it in the chat box so that we can start with the activity. Okay. Anistha says for. Next. Are you for the AI? Okay. Mitali says yes. Only 2 are responding. What is happening to the rest of the class? I hope you all are there. I hope this is, helping you. If you agree with this, then please can you switch on your webcam for 1 minute? Can you all switch on your webcam for 1 minute so that I'll know that you all are here? So Vilas, thank you very much. Please can you switch on your webcam so that I'll know that you all are very much here? Thank you very much, ma'am. Chaya. Okay, Arvind Ramteke. I'm sorry if I mispronounce your names, but I'm not seeing much in the chat box. What about ma'am Madhavi, so Vilas Gaikwad, Sarika Gudup, Shewale, Pratiksha? Okay. So how many of you all are using AI? What are the AIs that you are using? Can you put in the chat box the AIs that you are using? Can you please put it in the chat box? The AI that you are using. Okay, Chat GPT. Yes, you use AI, but what type of AI? Okay, Perplexity. Then who else? Gemini. Okay. Okay, Chat GPT, Gemini. Okay. What is the role of Chat GPT, Gemini, Perplexity, Claude AI? So you all are using only Chat GPT, Perplexity, and Gemini, right? What is the how is Perplexity is Chat GPT, Gemini, Claude AI the same? Are they the same? Are they the same? Okay, so let me share with you here. Let me share with you here. Now, okay, wait for it. Sorry. Okay. So let me start with ChatGPT. I use Perplexity, I use Gemini, but for Gemini, again, we have to, pay some amount, which as a teacher, if you need it frequently, you can always do it. So I want to encourage you to try all the 3, 4 types of Ask Anything. Ask Anything, that means you have Gemini, Perplexity, Claude AI, as well as ChatGPT, right? So now when you enter your Ask Anything in the AI, let's say in this case, the ChatGPT. Okay. How do you start the conversation with ChatGPT? How do you start the conversation with ChatGPT? Because this is very important. Because ultimately, you need to give the correct prompt for ChatGPT. Okay, so we were talking about the plus curriculum. Remember, we were talking about the plus curriculum. So let me say that I am teaching one topic. Okay, so I have to introduce myself. Hi, Chat GPT. Okay. So first and foremost, you have to introduce yourself. Okay. I am a teacher. Okay. I am a teacher. Please, can you create for me a plus curriculum on the topic structure of DNA. Okay. Structure of DNA for the first semester undergraduate program, okay? Within bracket, you can write college or university, okay? Now, please include the learning objectives and expected learning outcome, okay? So, I put this. What is this known as? This is known as prompt engineering. Many a times I've heard our teachers, they don't get what they need. So the problem is because you are not providing the correct information. First and foremost, what is the purpose of creating a plus curriculum? It will create a plus curriculum. If you do not mention a teacher, then it may take you to be as a student or as somebody else. Clear? Maybe some organization, etc. But once you have written I am a teacher, or you can write in higher education, I am a teacher in higher education, so you have to inform. Then who are you creating for? The target is very, very important. You see, the target is very, very important, and mention all the other information that you want to get. So here it says absolutely. Okay, first semester undergraduate program includes weekly modules, see breakdown, suggested teaching learning activities, assessment methods. See, I forgot to put these, but it will give you everything. Clear? So now, what is it giving you? The learning objectives. But as a teacher, you must not forget that the AI cannot be 100% correct. But since you have the expertise, as a teacher, you need to go through each and every learning objective and whether they match to what you want or not. If not, later you can still take some of the, the points given here, and you can, make some changes. Clear? Now, expected learning outcomes. Okay, so this is the expected learning outcome. Now, this will suffice the entire the entire classroom. So it is also giving you a module on how you can break up the topics. Clear? How you can break up these topics, it is giving you the module. So see, everything is being given by it. That means introduction, then chemical composition, the model, structural and variation, and functional correlation. So how much minute will you need to teach all of these? Okay. What are the key concepts you need to bring in? Probably you will not need as many as 4 weeks. Probably you can complete it in 2 sessions of 60 minutes each, right? So this is what the AI is giving you, but ultimately you can always, refine it from your side. Okay, so here see it's giving lecture plus video documentary plus class discussion, molecular model building or 3D visualization software, interactive construction, group activities, you see, plus case study. Clear? Then for assessment, it is giving you how to prepare the assessment also, which you can change as per your need. Okay, then suggested teaching learning strategies. Clear? Group discussion, peer teaching, right? Then you can show some software that can show them some more molecular visualization. Then inquiry-based learning, student investigate, okay, under different conditions. Then concept maps, flash quizzes, think, pair, share. See, I showed you this different collaborative strategies of learning, okay, which can have a lot of, motion in the class. Then summative assessment, also it has given you. Then they even gave the recommended resources. Then extension or plus component for advanced engagement, mini project, research seminar, interdisciplinary. Would you like me to format this as a formal course syllabus? Okay, so it'll ask you more and more. But I did it last time. It gave me a much better and interesting thing. Wait, let me show you. Yeah, this one. Let me show you this one. See, the prompt maybe lacked something here. Clear? There was something lacking in this prompt. So that's why I could not get much of what I got last time. See, plus curriculum. Very interesting. It's giving me, see, step by step, how I'm going to teach. Hands-on activity. Okay. And see, oh yes. Now I know the reason why I did not get this type of a result, because in the previous one I mentioned visually impaired students, hearing impaired and visually impaired. It's good that I made that slight mistake so that you will realize you have to give specific prompts to the AI to generate what you want. Is it clear? Clear to all of you teachers? Is it clear? Teachers? Is it clear? Okay. Yes, suitable to the requirement as Anitha mentioned. So you see, because I forgot to mention for visually impaired. So you may not ask your students what type of, needs you may need for sickle cell anemia. So type it in the AI, whether it's Perplexity or Gemini or, ChatGPT or Claude AI. So you can give for sickle cell anemia, if you have a student with sickle cell anemia, for thalassemia, and so on and so forth. So here I have asked for the visually impaired. Okay, so they have given me everything in detail and even how to, create a rubrics. Okay, concept understanding rubrics. Clear? That means whether the student have understood or not, whether the answer was excellent, was good, satisfactory, or need support. See, remember we spoke about the tactile? So how you can also come up with the evaluation and assessment for students who are visually impaired. So ChatGPT is helping you in this way. Clear? Then hearing impaired, and here we have the visually impaired. Making the slides. Yeah. So this is one way where you can get at least the lesson plan, okay, the lesson plan for yourself for that particular topic. So this is how you can take the aid of the, chat GPT for getting the topic. Now coming to Notebook LM. Okay, coming to Notebook LM. How many of you all are using Notebook LM? Please, can you put in the chat box? Are you using, those who are using, you can write LM. I'll understand. Write LM. How many of you have used? Are you using Notebook LM? Teachers? Just write LM. I'll understand that you're using. Okay, no, no. Okay. Are you aware of Notebook LM? Okay. See, this Notebook LM, it is a Google product. It is a Google product, and you can get it from your drive. And see, I have made a special, email only for using the different types of AIs. I'm not using the, I'm not using the uh, mail that I am using every day, specifically only for AI. And from the mail itself, you can see it is everything on AI. So when you go to this grid box, you will see Notebook LM here. Okay. So you can open your Gmail for the moment, doesn't matter because this is a Google product, so it doesn't matter. Open your Gmail and check for the Notebook LM whether you got it or not. If you get it, just write there because yes and no may confuse me. If it is there, just check. Is it there? Okay, good. Open it, click on it. Are you getting something like this? Are you getting something like this? Okay. So Notebook LM is one such AI tool provided by Google, where as a teacher, you can upload your note as a PDF. Let's see what else it accepts. And let's see after you upload it, what happens. Or you can just copy paste your note, or you can take from websites or from Drive or from the web or whatever. So let me just upload it. Okay, let me upload it. So now let me go there. Okay, wait 1 second. No, 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 not this one. Sorry. Wait 1 second. Huh? Just let me check. No, not this one. Okay, wait, just give me 1 second if you don't mind. Sorry, I uploaded the wrong one. Yeah, see. Sorry, I made that mistake. So now I have the write-up of DNA, right? I can upload this, but let me just copy paste. Okay, since I can copy text, so I copy it there. Okay, let me create a new one. Okay, let me paste the text here. This is this text which I have got from a book on the structure of DNA. Okay, then I insert there. So now what does it do? See? Now, after I have, then I want this one to do something. Clear? So here itself, you can write, please provide me with the learning objective, expected learning outcome, and a plus curriculum for visually and hearing impaired. Notice something. Here I did not mention that I am a teacher teaching the undergraduate programs. Why? Because this is the good feature of Notebook LM. It will give you the information strictly on the texts that have been provided to it. It will not take anything from the web. It will not take anything from the web, but provide you directly with what is required. Clear? So now, see, it is giving me the learning objective, expected learning outcome, plus curriculum, right? Everything. And if you want it to make, audio, video, how will you do it? Right? Are there any features here that will provide you with the audio, video, etc.? So this is one of the beauty of Notebook LM, because it will strictly provide you with the requirements, exactly what is provided in the content, and it will not take anything from the web, and it will also give you some more further explanation to it. So which one is better, Notebook LM or Chat GPT? Which one is better? Which one would you prefer, Notebook LM or Chat GPT? Can you put in the chat box? As far as getting the learning objectives, etc., would you rely on Chat GPT or Notebook LM? Okay, I can see roll number 104 writing Notebook LM. Clear? So that's why I told you, keep exploring these tools so that you will know which one is better. Now, again, if I ask Chat GPT to make me a PPT thing, it will take so much time. So let's see, Notebook LM would be a preferred AI rather than Perplexity or Chat GPT. Okay, so let me see. So when you go to Studio, you will get all these here. It can make you an audio, it can make you a video, it can make you a mind map, it can even give you reports, flashcards, quiz, infographic, slide deck, data table, everything in one page. So let us try one by one. I'm clicking here, generate mind map. Okay, so it has already generated. See, it has already generated the mind map. Okay, Now, see, how do you find this? Is it sleek? Is it going to help you? Is it going to help you? Okay. Yeah, more convenient rather. It is more convenient because you get everything here. Okay, so I've made that. Now let us try. Let us say we have students who are visually impaired. So I click here. Okay, so it is generating the audio also. Clear? Then I also wanted to make video. Okay, so it's generating the video also. Look at the flashcards. So interesting. It will generate the flashcard. Then quiz. Okay. How much do you want? Easy, medium, hard, fewer, more, whatever you want. Okay. What should the topic be? So you can even, provide here. I want this many, fill in the blanks, this many match the following, this many short answer question. So you can put it here and click on generate. Clear? So let me say, please generate one fill in the blank, then one, sorry, it will get a wrong thing. You can write one, fill in the blank, then comma, one, true or false, then one, multiple choice. Okay. Then one match match the following. Okay. Then one short answer question. You can give in detail. What do you want for the short answer question? And one long. See, prompt is very important. Okay, but since there's not much time here, so now you ask generate. Okay, let us make it easy or hard or medium. Okay, let it be a mixture. Now generate. So it will generate. Clear? Then let us go to the flashcard. See, suppose for the flashcard also you want to have a brainstorming. So you can click on that edit pen thing symbol, and you can get all these information. Okay, I knew it was going to take time, so since I've already prepared it earlier, okay, since I've already prepared it earlier, so let me show you the flashcard. See, the moment, oh, it comes to the same. It's just dependent on thing. Okay, there's something internet issue. Okay, that we have already seen. Then the quiz. Okay. Are you facing internet problem there? Yeah, I'm having some internet issue. That's why it's not showing. Some problem is there. That's why, maybe some internet, and it is still generating the video audio. So anyway, you already have this, and then ultimately it allows you to share with your students also, right? But then ultimately, when you share with your students, where would you share it? Where would you be sharing all these material with your students? How do you share materials with your students? Can you tell me? Okay, let me try it out here because I have downloaded them also. So let me see if this is working or not. See, the same thing which I generated there, okay? Now, this is the audio.
Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we are opening a bit of a time capsule going back to the early 1950s.
See, there's no video at all, only the
It
audio.
really was. You had researchers who knew they'd found the operating system of life, this molecule that carries all our genetic information.
But they couldn't read the script.
Exactly. They didn't know the structure of the book itself. The idea was there that
Okay, this I have generated it before. How do you find it? How do you find it? Will it not be inclusive? Will it not help the students who are, visually impaired? At least they can listen to the audio, and other students who prefer the audio. Then we also have the video.
Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving into one of the greatest scientific detective stories ever told, the race to figure out the structure of DNA, the molecule that literally writes the instruction manual for all life on Earth. This was the big one, the central burning question that had scientists stumped in the mid-20th century.
So you see, so I get the audio, I get the video. So the video you can share it with students who are having hearing impaired. Clear? Then mind map I've shown you. Okay. Then what is this? Yeah. See, it is giving me the diagram of the DNA double helix also. Giving me the diagram of the DNA double helix also. Then apart from that, let's see what's in here. Okay. It is giving me this one also. Clear? So all these, content, I am getting it from Notebook LM. But as a teacher, where do you share all your content with your students? Where do you share all the contents with the student? Thank you. Where do you share your content with the students? Do you have a learning management system? Do you have a learning management system? If so, what type of a learning management system do you have? Okay. Already. Again, it's taking time. So I'm very sorry for that. But anyway, let me show you our learning management system. Mhm. Okay. I think I've kept it here. Have you ever used Moodle? Just let me switch on the lights. You just check whether it's here or not. If not, then yeah, here. So you see what I did? I created a book. I gave the write-up. Okay. So whatever I'm getting from the chat GPT, I'm putting it here, right? Then see, even the video, I have uploaded it here. Right? See, audio also I have uploaded here. So how many of you all are using this Moodle Moodle platform as your learning management system? How many of you? Are you using it? Teachers? No, ma'am. Okay. Through your college, which is accessible to student. Okay, Drive again may have issues. So you can tell your, you can ask your management to at least have one good learning management system where you can place all these, information to your student. See, for example, we have these MMTTPs like you are having it now. We give all the information here, timetable, reading materials, right? Test, then video recorded so they can still listen to the video even up to today, feedback. So this I had just done it, for your interest. Let me hide because they may get confused. So how did I add this book? Okay, how did I add this book? I can add, each and every file. But again, I told you when we share it, again, we need to be systematic and organized. So I prefer a book. Okay, so I create a book. Again, I can write here, topic 1. Okay, topic 1 as per the topic that you're teaching. Okay, structure of DNA. Yeah, I'll just write another name because it's already there. So, 2. Okay, now I leave everything. Okay, I don't make any changes and I write save and return to the course. So see, you can see here, it is already there. Clear? Then now when I click here, chapter 1, you can give the thing, what you can give is, let's say, definition. Okay, then description. Of structure of DNA. Okay, then now here the content I can copy this, right, and paste it here. Okay, now save changes. Then number 2, I want to add the video. Okay, video on structure of DNA. Yeah, this will be a sub chapter, right? So what I can do is that I can add a link here. Okay, now I browse from repository, choose file. Okay, so see, I can add this one here. Upload this file. Okay, it will take some time. So if you make a book, there are many resources in your learning management system also, but if you make a book, again, it becomes very, very systematic. And here you can even write down something. Okay, let's see, you write down, dear students, this is the video to your topic or on your topic, structure of DNA. Right? Now, save changes. So the video is already added and the student can watch it. Clear? Then now you want to add the audio. Yeah. So audio on structure of DNA. Okay. So next, again, browse, choose. Then this is the audio. Open, upload. Are you tired? Are you tired or is it interesting? Teachers, are you tired or is it interesting? Okay, thank you. At least I feel motivated. I feel inspired because sometimes I feel so bad. Like, you're sitting for over 3 hours and not getting anything. So now see, in this case, this is an audio and this is going to help your students, right? Who are hearing impaired. They will not know. So in each, because ultimately, whether you give that write up, okay, for the hearing impaired, again, you can use this. So what I do is that rather than write there, I just record. Okay. I just record it. Then I say, dear students, I have pasted the link to the audio on structure of DNA. So kindly go through and please let me know whether this has been helpful or not. Okay, then I stop recording. Then I attach the recording. So now you're recorded. Then I say, dear students, I have pasted the link to the audio on structure of DNA. So kindly go through and please let me know whether this has been helpful or not. Okay. So when they are at home, somebody in the family can help them. Okay. But again here, see, accessibility checker. So this is also there. So you can use this also to help the students, with some kind of disability. So now all those are prepared. They are here. Your class is now ready and your students, you don't have any headache at all. You can even give the learning objectives and the expected learning outcome. Okay. Now suppose I want to paste the expected learning outcome and the, oh, did I not save changes? Oh, sorry. There, sorry. So now what I do, I add another one, learning outcome on structure of DNA, okay, on structure of DNA. So what I can do is this, I can just go back to my notebook LM, okay, since this is not giving me so much. So what I can do is that I can just copy paste this and paste it in my Moodle, paste it here in Moodle, and then I click on save changes and I want this to go up. Oh, sorry. So there, I've changed there accordingly. Yeah. So now what if I want to give those, questions which have been prepared by Notebook LM? Again, it will take time for me, to recreate them and everything. So I can just paste the link again. But the problem is now it's not working, you see. I don't know, because of some issues. So again, I can just paste the link and they can open the link and start doing the work, right? Otherwise, what I can do also, I can have another type of wait 1 second. Okay, that's in the chat. I can have another type of AI tool. So here we have this AI tool known as the word wall. Have you heard of this AI tool? Word wall? See, this is meant for gamification. Okay, let me put it in the chat. So this is meant for gamification. Okay, word wall, you can try it, but then ultimately, so suppose I write here create activity. Okay, so now I can create different types of activities for my students. Clear? So suppose I want to create a quiz. Now, to get this, no, I had to pay, but a very minimal amount, maybe only 230. Without paying, you can still use word wall, but again, it comes to manual. Okay, again, it comes to manual. So it becomes very difficult for us teachers, to type each and every question. So I paid 230 and it's giving me for 1 month up to the 14th of February because I did it last month. Clear? So once you do that, see, advice, you have to type it manual. If you have time, doesn't matter. You can try it out. It's up to you. But now I say this. So this is where you need to give the prompt. Okay, this is where you need to give the prompt, and let me just see what I've written last time in the prompt. Wait, not this. Okay. So you see, I gave this prompt last time to them. What useful to include? Okay, so I wrote subject because they want me to write the subject, right? Subject, life sciences, okay? Or you can give zoology or botany. Topic, structure of, so prompt is very important, of DNA, okay? The next, undergraduate students, okay? Then they want me what purpose of activity for okay? So, understanding the structure of DNA, okay? Then provide, fill in the blank, multiple choice, then true or false, and then match the following. Match the following. Okay. So now let us just put number of questions to add. Let's just put 5 for the moment. Okay. Now this is taking in the form of MCQ, so it's asking number of answers per question. Okay. So now I click generate. Let's see what comes out. Okay. So what is the shape of DNA? You have to check because sometimes it may make mistakes. So this is correct. Which sugar is found in DNA? This is correct. True or false? DNA is composed of 4 types of nucleotides. Then match the pair. Okay, match the base pair in DNA. Okay. Which component is not part of nucleotide? So it's given me 5 answers. And then now I click done. Okay, I click done. So the prompt is important. Okay, so let me share it with you. Let me share it with you. Let me copy this in the chat box and try it out, okay? So ultimately, this what I have copied here, I can go back to my Moodle, okay? Then I click another one. Then here I can write for native assessment on structure of DNA, okay? Then I put the link here. Okay, I put the link there and then I save changes. So see, all the 4 quadrants within one thing, but I can also have a discussion forum also. Okay. So now I have given you this. Now I want you to okay, done. Now start playing the game. Could you open it? Is it opening? Oh, sorry. I have not shared. Click on this now and start playing this quiz. Is it opening? Could you see the questions? Teachers? Am I audible? Can you see the questions? Okay. Please play, it will be interesting. And I can stop after 15 minutes and then we can discuss. Okay, so you can try it later also. Clear? Now see, if I switch template, find the match. See, now it changes. See, now it has changed. Is it interesting? Oh, good. Mitali says, complete. Is this interesting? Yes or no? So see, matching pairs. I switch again. Start. Okay. There are not too many questions there. Let's see. Okay, wait. Let me see what's in here. No, okay. So anyway, we can always, try to change from one thing to another. It becomes interesting. You can switch the template. So allow the students to play. So this is game-based gamification, right? And you have seen that I can always share it on the, Moodle, where everything is received in a single platform. Yeah. So I think you all are tired also. Too much of everything also becomes, tiring. So I hope this has been helpful to you. And if there are any questions from your end, let us have some interaction for another 5 minutes because it's 5:15 now, 5-10 minutes, then we can end the session. Thank you. Roll number 69. Thank you. So even me, like at first I get very tired to use technology, but during the pandemic, I realized, it's so important. We came to know about this Moodle right from 2015. I introduced it in our training, but then, many of the teachers were not very much, what do I say? They were not very much interested. So they said, it's not going to help us. And then finally, I keep telling my teachers that if you don't learn that now, then when will you learn? So still they said, oh, so much of problem, internet, this, that, which is true. I agree. These are hardships that we teachers experience every now and then. But ultimately, when the social distancing came, then what happened? मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ? मैं कहाँ हूँ? मैं कौन हूँ? Yes or no? Isn't it? Huh? We were not skilled. So that's why even with the AI, I get a little bit lazy preparing the prompts and this and that. I get a little bit tired, but somehow I said, no, let me start. If I don't, then how will I, keep up with the pace? So you start with one small topic, try to learn, and then, for Moodle, you can take up a course from Swayam, because during the pandemic there was a course in Swayam. So I was learning Moodle at the same time I was preparing like this for my student. In the beginning I had a lot of hardships, but now I can do things split of a second. I can even create quizzes for them. Okay, I can even create quizzes for them. I click on quiz, then I can add book, file, folder, page, text and media, URL. Okay, then IMS package also I have learned. Then activities, I can give them assignment, chat, choice. For example, suppose we have a seminar presentation, freedom to student. I can create a choice where I ask the student to choose the date and time of the seminar presentation that I have fixed. Clear? Now, it's not that from my side as a teacher, what we do, we just fix like, okay, this person, Raju will speak first, and Anup, then, Nishat, Tejaz, Vilas, that's what we do as teachers. But with the technology, I just put the timing and the date. So it's up to the students to choose. But you give limitation. First come, first serve. Whoever chooses that time. You see? So this is very interesting also. Now, suppose you have some organizing some, some seminar. So you can, put the different sections, say for food, for registration, for transport. So who would be ready to take up which? So according to their, liking, they will take up that part. So choice is also very interesting. Okay. Then we have discussion forum, which is very, very interesting, where they can have peer learning, clarification of doubts, So there's so many features here. Then as far as participation is concerned, see, you invite them to this particular classroom and you can see how many of them are accessing even till today. Okay, so this ended in October. See, it ended in October. So see, 95 days back, still somebody was, accessing it. Okay, so for example, this teacher has never attended. One of them I saw never. See, I can suspend. So I can be a teacher at the same time, I can go to the board of a student. I can invite other teachers also if we have to edit or write something together. So this has really helped us since 2020. Imagine the number of courses that we're running a year with so many students. And we have two of this, okay? One is strictly only for the MMTTP and we have another one for the FIPs and RCs. See? All these courses are here and still see right from 2023. So right from the first time until now, these students can, teachers can still access and get all the materials. So you should know how to, let me go to site administration. So here you should know how to, create these classrooms. Okay, you should know how to create these classrooms. This is important. Then again, you should know how to upload the users. Okay, how to upload the users all at one go, then put them in groups. Then you can take a lot of action for your users, etc. So these are some skills that as a teacher, you need to equip yourself, which will take some time, but with practice. But for the time being, if you still are not comfortable with an LMS, you have the Google Classroom. Check the Google Classroom. Can you prepare something like this or not? Okay, because everything is in one page. So use the Google Classroom. We are using Moodle. I'm just showing you, but use the Google Classroom, and Google Classroom will become easy because ultimately you have everything there. Then you can just port the all the stuffs from here to the Google Classroom. So you try that out. Okay. So once again, thank you so much for your patient listening. I hope this has been helpful to all of you, and I'm very happy to have been able to share so much with you. And I'm happy that there has been interaction from your end, though not too many teachers were interactive. Again, I'm seeing a diverse group. Some of them are interactive, some of them is not. But I hope that with this, 180 minutes of discussion with you, I hope it will be of great help to you in future. And as Dr. Rafi had mentioned you in the beginning that, you should be able to, to transfer it. Clear? So thank you so much. If there's any questions from your side, I shall be very happy. Any clarification from your end, I will be very happy. So I'll just finish the PPT which I have shown you. Let me just finish the PPT. Sorry. In case I have missed something. So I told you that evaluation is very important. So I've shown you how to do the continuous comprehensive evaluation. Criterion based, you can have debates, seminars, etc. Okay. Debates, seminars, etc. So for peer learning. And even the students with with learning disabilities, they can enjoy. Then rubrics, you can take the help of ChatGPT, you can take the help of Perplexity, but give them the exact prompt of what you want them to make. Clear? So as a teacher, capacity building, what are your weaknesses, what are your hardships? You can go for these capacity building programs that will help you. Okay, then feedback is again very important. So here I've kept a verse from the Bible, Proverb 15:22. Without counsel, purposes are disappointed, but in the multitude of counselors, they are established. So we're very thankful to the Ministry of Education and to the University Grants Commission. I think now, after attending this 8-day program, you will realize that yes, all we teachers are in a state of chaos as far as NEP 2020 implementation is concerned, but you must have come across a number of, resource persons who have counseled with you, counsel with each other, and you must have gained a lot of confidence now when you go back to your institution. So if this NEP sensitizing program has helped you, then let us go back to our institution and be shepherds to our students, and let us handhold and carry them forever. So thank you so much. And if there are no more questions, then we can end this talk now. So from the side of the organizers, I don't know whether the organizers are still here or not.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I think I can end now, sir.
Yes, no issue, no issue.
Okay, thank you so much, sir, for the privilege you have given.
Welcome, ma'am. Welcome.
And I really enjoyed, sir, with all your teacher participants. They have been very interactive. So I hope we can, meet again sometime later.
Yes. Okay. So how is your center going on? It's good?
It's fine. Right now we're having this NEP also going on. It started today.
Okay.
And we have one FIP.
Have you received any fund for non-recurring?
Actually, I spoke to the person, in the MOE. So he said that by mid-February, he will be sending it.
Okay, okay,
He
okay.
will be sending it by mid-February. So we'll be having, we have just 2 more programs of the academic calendar. That is FIP, it's running right now. And RC in sociology will be starting. But we also got the IKS, no, Indian Knowledge System,
Hmm.
6-day program.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we're running that in the month of February, 23rd to 28th. But that is
So it
should
is
be
offline. IKS is offline.
fully offline, but only for Meghlions.
Ah, good, 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 good.
Because in Maharashtra, who got, sir?
Yeah, in Nagpur they have conducted.
Okay.
But I think that near to Maharashtra only, Hyderabad Manu University, they have recently conducted in last month.
Manu completed.
Yeah, yeah, they have completed that capacity building program.
Because they're not giving TA, no, so we feel bad to invite teachers from other states who
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
have
It's
problem.
too long journey to
I know,
get there without tea.
I know, sir, that's true. So
So
next academic calendar, sir, have you fixed the
no,
courses?
no, no. We will do now after
We're
this
done.
week.
We're done because our
Uh,
university departments, they were so excited. So we got around 20 or 25 proposals.
hmm,
RCs and STP. So we have sent to UGC because
hmm.
we want to put up in the website, no, sir, because many are starting in April. So
Ha.
we don't want to rush with the registration, but they have not responded as yet.
Okay, okay, okay. Okay, ma'am. We will have
Okay,
a
thank
talk
you
on
so
the
much,
phone.
sir. And
Yeah,
thank
yeah.
you so much, teachers.
Thank you,
Bye.
thank you,
Thank you
thank you.
so much and see you again in future. Bye.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. I'll send you the PPTs right now
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well as the MCQs
yeah,
and the documents which will help them. So I'll send them right now, sir.
yeah, yeah. You WhatsApp me, so directly I can put in the group.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'll